What's up, Audit fans? Now, I know you all asked a lot of questions about things you wanted to find out about Xero while I'm here at Xerocon. So, top question was, why is it Xero with an X and not a Z? I actually tracked down Rod Drury, who's the founder of Xero, to actually find that out. Here's his answer.
Well, what we wanted when we started Xero was a four-letter.com. You know, if we were going to build a global brand, we needed one of those. So we thought of Xero with a Z, but that was $100,000 to start the discussion to get it. And then someone said, well, why don't we spell it with an X? So we managed to negotiate, and we bought it for $20,000 US. But it was all about getting a four-letter.com because we had aspirations of being a business like we are now.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Question number 2 that came through from Kathleen Walsh was, what are the pricings for smaller not-for-profits? Now, at the moment, you can go onto the Xero website, and as a not-for-profit, Xero is $25 a month. You can get an extra discount on that by contacting Xero and asking for that extra discount. If you go through an advisor, so you partner with a small business advisor who is a Xero partner, I believe you can get Xero for access for $5 a month through their bulk discount. But if you're just doing it alone, and that's minimum, it's just reporting, it's not a whole lot of other stuff, which is probably what you need as a smaller not-for-profit, then going through an advisor is a way to get it a little bit cheaper. I don't know whether you have to pay an advisor. If you get an advisor to work with you as a not-for-profit pro bono, that could be one way to save some money. Okay, Kara, he asked, how do we get support? Because there's not a phone number to call, and if you go to online support and use the email address, then you will often get a reply back from the email, but it doesn't allow you to respond or correspond with someone. I found out that there is now a thing called the Xero portal. Everybody should be logging their questions and issues through the portal. The portal also has a huge database on it, and apparently 95% of questions are actually solved before you actually need to ask someone. So try the portal, Kara, and then once you've got it through the portal, then you can actually log a support ticket through there. The reason they don't have a phone number is because people work all over. Trying to keep track of different calls and different support logs is really difficult, so they're funneling everybody through that portal. Okay, Alice. Alice has just had a little baby. Hello, Alice's baby. Are there any plans to expand Xero into Europe? What I can tell you is that Xero is already in Europe, so the presence isn't as big as in Asia and in Australia and New Zealand and potentially the US, but Xero is in Europe. They're a worldwide company, so there is a team looking after people in Europe, so definitely is already there. Can Xero work for large companies? And this is a really interesting one because Xero is mainly a small business connection platform. So you've got the small business, you've got the accountant and the advisor, and Xero sits in the middle as a connected ledger that everybody can see and both can do work on. For large companies, now certainly I have talked to some accountants and advisors who do use Xero for reasonably large size companies. This is not a public company accounting tool. This is not, but there are companies that turn over millions of dollars that still do use Xero. There are chains of or franchise organizations or organizations that have multiple stores that do use Xero. So it is for more than just sort of small mum and dad type businesses. It really can handle larger data sets. To take advantage of Xero's capabilities, they do recommend bolting on apps to integrate with Xero. Xero on its own is not usually enough to do more than just your bookkeeping. If you really want a lot more of that data insight, data analysis, then adding apps to your Xero ecosystem is probably the way to go. Daniel Shepherd from YouTube, I think, asked, can you create your own add-on using the API? So the way the API works is that you need to become a developer to be able to access the API, and then you can build your own app, which connects then into the Xero ecosystem. But to create an actual physical app that you would have on the marketplace or the Xero market, then that's a little bit more complicated. So you need to create an app, it'll need to get checked by Xero, and there's a whole range of checking process before they'll put it on the market and have it Xero certified. Now, Daniel, you asked a really complicated reconciling question. The people I spoke to said that what you should probably do is contact, if you're an advisor, contact your lead at Xero to ask them this question, or go to the portal. That would probably be the best one. Now, the other thing is that how can you learn Xero outside of university? One of the interesting things that I was just told like 2 minutes before I started making this video is that Xero are about to launch a new platform for students to do the Xero Advisor course, which is currently on central.xero.com. If you go to learning, there's a course there, but there will be a new course specifically for Australian and New Zealand university students that is coming up. And they think that's going to launch in about 2 weeks. When that's launched, I'll make a new video. We'll run through all the pros and cons of Xero. But yeah, so that's all of your questions answered. Sorry, I think somebody did ask on Instagram a question about zipping up your entire data client and then exporting it out of Xero. At the moment, that is not possible to zip up all the different types of files into one zip file. What you need to do is export files in a number of different, in a sequence of reports, and you can export then everything out of Xero, but it's not possible to download the entire database into one file, according to all the information that I could find out. So that's all your Xero questions answered. Thanks for watching the video. Check out the rest of my Xero coverage, and I'll chat to you next time.